Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Square Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Johnny Bottles. If it's your first time here, that man right over there to my left is Dr. Don Wayne. He's got a degree in neckbeard psychology, don't you know? Me personally, I'm voting for Beer Man and Black Larry in 2024. And I'm also a vodka and cream soda enthusiast. I'm just throwing that out there to you. If you're new to the channel, please give us a subscribe. Click on the button down below. Give us a subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. Give us a thumbs up. Thumbs sideways, whatever. Give us a thumbs up on the video. It helps the YouTube algorithm for everyone to find us and on their recommended, suggested feeds. Also, click the little bell down below. Give us a ring-a-ling, as we like to say, on the ding-a-ling. So you know when we're going to have a pop-up show, much like the Kendrick Lamar pop-up concert that was on last Wednesday, which torpedoed AEW Dynamite's ratings. Don,
that's what they say. That's what they say, is that it torpedoed the ratings.
It's with a heavy heart that we announced the death of Roman Reigns' father, Joe Adonai. I hope I pronounced that name right. That's his real name. His father was Sika from the Wild Samoans, one of the greats in tag team wrestling. One of the greats.
Once again, thank you all for showing up tonight. We appreciate it. Also want to send our sincere condolences to Pat McCaffrey's family, who had an unexpected death in the family. We're going to talk a little bit about that later, which once again, Dave Meltzer sticks his foot right in his mouth. Once again, right on cue. He can't help himself. The guy's a walking idiot. It's been a long time, Bottle, since you and I have been able to sit back and enjoy wrestling consecutively. This is now
consecutive days. Yes.
This is now for WWE, for not just, I'm counting AEW out because you know what you're going to get there. This is 4 shows in a row for WWE consecutively that have gone from good to great to, oh my God, can it get any better than this? They're back at it again. It feels like they're gearing up for this Money in the Bank PLE, and then they're going to go right into this SummerSlam series, and you can sort of see the breadcrumbs being laid if you've been watching long enough. I am super excited that we're here now. A lot of the stuff we've been talking about needs to happen is starting to happen. The ball is rolling. They're pulling back some of these guys that have maybe gotten a little bit overpushed. There were definitely some people missing from these last couple of shows that have been really featured. Sometimes less is more. You can't be on TV every week. CM Punk's not going to be a huge draw if he's on every week. Things of that nature. I've enjoyed this. I want to start off with SmackDown. What do you think?
I think you should, because that was a fantastic show. One of the better SmackDowns. Fantastic.
Dare I say,
there's a Samoan werewolf running loose. Have you heard that story?
You son of a bitch. I knew you were going to talk about it. You were right. You called it. You said he was going to debut sooner than later. You said it wouldn't be surprised if it was that show. We've talked about this in depth. I doff my cap to you, sir. You got this one right. He was there. We're going to get to that a little bit later. But it started off in Chicago with CM Punk.
Absolutely.
And the place, thank you, Chicago, for showing crowds and continuing what the Monday Night Raw did. This is what it's supposed to look like. The crowd was into it. They were hot. They wanted their hometown hero to show up, and man, did he ever. And it just, when you start to show off like this, right, it just keeps going. The momentum keeps going. It made me say, okay, all right, this is why CM Punk is back. This is why AEW was stupid to get rid of him. He is a bona fide mega star.
What would Pat Patterson say about that crowd?
They went banana. They went total banana. I love it. It's so good. The whole segment is an A, and here's another reason why. Once again, Paul Heyman shows why he is the best.
The best in the business right now at what he does. He gets in the ring, and he asks CM Punk for a favor, and the favor is, take me with you. My wife and my son fell out dying laughing at this entire segment. It was a lot of hoo-ha after that. I mean, Solo Sikoa, Tama, and Tonga all came out, told Punk to show respect to the bloodline. Punk stood his ground. He issued a challenge. It was fantastic. Great opening. This is what it's supposed to be. Enjoyed this.
I don't want to skip through all of this. By the way, this show did 2.3 million people. This was, in my opinion, the most entertaining show that they've had since WrestleMania. In my opinion, that's counting the PLEs until we got to last night, which we'll talk about in a minute. What did you think of the opening segment? What stuck out to you?
What stuck out to me was the fact that they interjected CM Punk sideways into this bloodline thing, which means he could still be a player in this angle going forward, going down the road. So, who really knows? But baseball bats, that's an old school ring to it right there. That's a 1997 WCW flavor with the baseball bats. Too bad they were gimmicked like Stings used to be with the black electrical tape wrapped around it. But seeing Cody and CM Punk, two of the biggest stars in the wrestling business right there. Two guys who were, dare I say, driven out of AEW, driven from AEW, and then now they're the two biggest stars in the wrestling business. That's just an indictment of Tony Khan's lack of creativity, lack of skill in this entire thing. That's what it comes out to me. And then I just enjoyed the hell out of the whole segment.
Denisha, thank you for the $1.99. Don and Bottles and mod your channel, please. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you could specify, I'm not quite following. If there's something going on that we're not aware of, I'm not sure. If you could specify what you mean by that, I'd be glad to help you out there. I'm not sure what that is, Bottles. Is there something going on? I haven't seen the chat. Haven't seen anything wrong.
Know. I'm looking right now.
I mean, we do have problems from here time to time, but I don't think that's it. I hear you fine. I can see them fine. So I hope nothing's wrong. If there is chat, let us know. I'm not sure what she means like that. We do appreciate the support. Thank you all again for watching, tuning in. The super chat is open. I enjoyed this opening segment. It was exactly what I was hoping it would be. It got me hooked for the whole thing, and it led into the next segment that got my attention. And I want to know if you were paying attention to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Were you paying attention to that little dynamic that happened backstage?
It was sort of Bianca being dismissive of Jade.
Mm-hmm.
So you sort of think, who's going to go heel when they eventually turn on each other? Who's going to go heel? You know they can't resist it. Two jacked up women. Beautiful women.
Look great.
Look like superheroes. And what's going to happen? Where were the chips going to fall there? But are they foreshadowing the wrong way? Are they leading us down the wrong path? Like a lot of people are. Like they've done in the past, like Vince used to. Is Bianca going to turn heel on Jade? Is Jade going to turn heel on Bianca? How's it taking us? I'm watching what's going on in the chat. I don't see anything.
I saw it. She's asking to be the moderator. Denisha, hit me up on Twitter, on my feed at Don Wayne. We'll have a discussion. Appreciate you offering. There is a possibility. We have been discussing that. The part that got me about this, Bottles, is Bianca Belair was dismissive. She dismissed her because Jade was wanting to, she was like, we got to get our tag team titles back. We got to do this. And Bianca was like,
sure.
I ain't got time to worry about that. I got my Money in the Bank match tonight. I've got to worry about that tonight. That's what I've got to get involved with. That's what I want to do. I was like, oh shit, here's a little seed. And I've been wondering this and I've been watching this. And I want to know if you paid attention to this. The last couple of times that Bianca Belair has gone to tag Jade, she's been on the floor. She's been laying down. She's been getting taken out so she can't tag in. There's always been something that's happened that's not necessarily her fault, but it continues to happen. I was wondering if you've noticed that, because it's one of those old school feels, man. I could see this coming down the pike, and it's every time I went to tag you, you're not there. Every time I needed a hand, you weren't there. Every time I needed a friend, you weren't there. I always had to come in and save you in the end of these matches. That's how I feel like this is going. I'm here for it, Bottles.
Exactly. So who's going to go? Is Jay going to be mad at Bianca, or is Bianca going to be mad at Jade? You're going the way that Jade's going to be mad at Bianca by putting her solo career as more important than the joint tag team reclamation effort.
See, I see it the other way. I see it with Jade saying, hey, I'm trying to get our tag team titles back. And Bianca being like, no, I don't want no part of you. I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm done. I've tried to help you out and I can't get it. So that's sort of where I'm looking at. I'm looking for that.
A little too early to tell. Maybe this Friday's SmackDown is going to give us another little breadcrumb to see what direction it's going to go in.
Were you surprised by the Money in the Bank winner? Because it was Bianca versus Belair and Yim. Sorry, Green defeated Belair and Yim. Were you surprised by that? I was surprised, man. They're pushing.
I was very shocked.
All right, talk to me.
I was very shocked by that, but because of her exemplary character work she's been doing in the comedy that she's been doing for the past year and a half, they're throwing her a bone. I don't think she's going to win Money in the Bank, but if she did, it wouldn't be a bad thing. It wouldn't be hateful. So, but they have to let her step up her in-ring game. She's a better wrestler than what they make her out to be, than what she's perceived to be. Better moves, better wrestler. It is what it is.
Right. Apparently, I'm having a mic issue. If I'm going down, let me know. I'm trying to fix the damn thing. It's been a while since I had it plugged in, so I'm hoping it'll work its way out. I was impressed with it.
I got you. When automatically adjust mic volume, I'm going to turn your mic volume up.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm excited to see Green. I really enjoy her. She's coming along nicely. I enjoyed the SmackDown,
Yes.
like I said. The Carmelo Hayes, Randy Orton, Tama Tonga issue, that was next. Carmelo Hayes was standing in the ring, right? No entrance music. Did you see this one coming? Because everybody's been talking about he's putting everybody over. He's putting everybody over. He's never going to win a match.
Right.
And he won. And he won. The young guy
I didn't see
won.
it coming at all. Didn't see it coming at all.
I don't think
Didn't see it
anybody
coming.
saw this coming.
Why do you think they gave it to him?
Are you happy that they gave it to him? That's my question.
He's very good in the multi-man matches. The gimmick matches, he's very good at that. He's very good at flying around the ring.
I think it makes the most sense for one reason. He's young. He's an up-and-coming star, and beating these two guys did more for him than it could possibly do anything else. Even if he doesn't win Money in the Bank now, which he probably won't, this was a big moment for his career, and it puts him on the scope of everybody. Everybody says, okay, this guy actually can go. He is a wrestler. I've got to take him serious. I enjoyed this. I was thoroughly impressed with it. Anything else you want to talk about it? Because that was one of the parts. We're going to get to it next.
He's short. He's a short man. I hope they do something with him. Showcase him in a Money in the Bank ladder match. Have some great spots. I'm sure he'll put on a clinic once he gets out there. Carmelo Hayes, if you watch him over the last couple of weeks, he's got a little bit of the jitters, I would say. Verbal faux pas in interviews and things like that. He'll be okay. He'll be okay. He's probably nervous being in front of that many people. He's never been in front of that many people before. Never.
And you could see at times in his matches, you could see there's a little bit of nerves going on. He tried to move a little bit too fast. He tried to hit something he probably shouldn't. Overall, though, I was impressed. Then we get the moment of the night. We got the moment of the night. There's a backstage segment, and somebody starts knocking on the garage door, not knocking, beating on it. And the garage door slowly comes up, and CM Punk's laying there a bloody mess, just beat to hell. Drew puts him on his back, walks into the building, drops him, and then we have the moment. There's your champion. There's your hero. It was absolute gold. From here, there's nowhere this show could go but down, in my opinion, right? There's nowhere else this could go. It has hit the high point of the night. It can't get any better. And I'm not going to waste our time going through all this. You got something you want to say? Go ahead. I can see.
No. I was just, I was looking. We had a change of writers on SmackDown, Don.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we did.
We were talking about the head writer of SmackDown. I was just looking to see if I could find their names. That guy was gone. Last week's show and this week's show going forward are all going to be written by a guy named, I think his name is John Swikata, Swikata. I believe he's the new head writer on SmackDown. And obviously he got promoted because he's got great ideas. And I guess one of his ideas is bringing in the Samoan Werewolf. And maybe the Chelsea Green win. Who knows? Maybe he ran that by Triple H. So onward and upward for SmackDown, it looks like.
I mean, the old guy left, the new guy came in. If he's been the guy running these last couple of shows, I'm all about that action, boss. This made me happy. Everything about this made me happy. I want to get through the rest of this real quick. Andrade beat Waller and Owens. Another surprise, holy shit moment. Andrade's back and getting a push. I mean, this is the difference.
Waller. I thought Waller was going to win that.
But we talked about this every week on AEW. You can see the winter coming. There's no surprises. There's no, oh shit, where did that come from moment. This gave us three. This gave us three oh shit moments back to back to back. And we're not done yet. Oh no, boys and girls, we're not done yet because Cody Rhodes is going to have a match. The world champion is going to have a match against Solo Sikoa. And who debuts, Bottles?
Jacob Fatu, the son of the Tonga Kid. If you remember the tag team with Haku, the Islanders. That guy who was in the tag team with Haku and the Islanders is the father of Jacob Fatu, the Tonga Kid. Well, I'm sorry, the Tonga Kid is the father of Jacob Fatu, the Samoan Werewolf. I'm sorry I had my nicknames mixed up.
That's all right. There's a bunch of them out there.
That Jacob Fatu's in. Jacob Fatu looks like he lost about 50 pounds. He was a Umaga man of Umaga carriage. Big guy, yes. And he slimmed down quite a bit, got a little jacked. He's looking good.
I was thoroughly impressed with this show. His debut caught me off guard. And my wife thank God my wife watches wrestling with me and she enjoys it, or else I'd be one unhappy ass woman. I'm just going to say that much right now. She was happy. She said, is that the guy you and Johnny have been talking about? I said, yeah. She said, well, I wouldn't have known it otherwise. I said, trust me, this isn't as big of a surprise as some of the other ones are. A lot of folks in the internet wrestling community know who this guy is and know he's coming in. They've been waiting on this moment. People like you that don't really watch other than outside my show, it will get explained Friday. They sort of gave you a quick rundown when he came running into the ring on who he was. You know what's going to explain. It's not always my favorite way to do it like this. I'm not a big fan because they've done it with three of them. I would have just liked to have it with the one. That's my biggest takeaway. This is the guy you saved that moment for. The other two you introduce as new members. That's just me, though.
You saw what they have planned for this Friday with that whole group, right?
I did not yet. What'd you see?
They're having an anointment ceremony for Jacob Fatu, his induction into the bloodline. He's going to be a made man in the bloodline.
He's got to be the wild man or something.
Well, they trademarked the name Samoan Werewolf. And they actually have a T-shirt, Samoan Werewolf. So,
oh, God, that's terrible. That's not
good. They don't waste time.
They
don't waste time in the marketing department there, pal.
I'm not a big fan of whatever that is. Brother Fluff Salisbury says the way the Tongans looked at Jacob was perfect. I agree.
They were afraid.
Yeah. They were like, okay, the wild man that's got a criminal record has officially joined our ranks. We thought we were crazy. That guy will skin your cat and make you watch. That's how he came across. The craziest son of a bitch in the group. That's how I saw. Not like your neighbors. Not like your neighbors. No, not that way.
Oh, okay. Okay. They have suspicious cookouts going on across the street.
His debut, this is how it should be, though. It was wild. It was out of control. The only problem that I have, like I said, was that they did it for the previous two and it shouldn't have happened. That should not have happened, in my opinion. They should have saved it for this guy. Bring out the other two, introduce them. Hey, here's the Samoan. Hey, here's Samoan. We've got new bloodline members. By the way, Paul Heyman, once again in this segment, was amazing. Looking terrified. He looked like the man who had just shit his pants. What is happening? Why am I here? Help me. CM Punk. CM Punk's gone, baby.
Fantastic stuff, man.
CM Punk's home, baby. He's home and he's getting recovered, which I can't wait to talk about this next show because this was simply as good as it's going to get. That's my coverage of SmackDown. I want to go over it. Like I said, it was 4 days ago. Do you got anything else you want to talk about? Thank you again, Brother Fluff, for the $5. Super chats are open. We appreciate everybody. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification button. We appreciate all of your support. I enjoy this show. I've enjoyed wrestling. Bottles, what else you got for me on SmackDown?
I'm just going to say that not Samoa. I got Samoa's on my mind. CM Punk was caught leaving the arena through the driveway ramp, the parking garage ramp in his van. So he blew kayfabe. They took him out in an ambulance. He ruined the kayfabe by driving out of the place. And they all, hey, CM Punk, CM Punk. He didn't stop for autographs, so he took off.
I didn't see that. I just saw him leaving that. I wasn't looking forward. I was happy. Sometimes, I'm not going to lie, just to keep my mind out of wherever the hell this is going, I purposely avoid shit like that. I don't click on the bait. I don't want to go watch it. I want to be surprised. The entire point of being a wrestling fan is the surprises. And these dirt sheets and these assholes, no.
You ignore the bait? You're a master of the bait. You've taken over the bait.
Yes,
You're master of your bait.
I am. I try. Are we going to get to Raw now? Are we going to get to Raw? Are we going to get to Raw?
Get the Raw. Let's do it.
I didn't think Raw. I went into this with one mindset. Please, God, I'm not asking you, Triple H and all your creators, to be better than SmackDown. Just be as good as you were last week. If you can maintain that, I'll be happy. This far exceeded my expectations. I thought this was the best show since they've done WrestleMania. I felt like this was the best wrestling show they've done in a long time. There were storylines. There were intricate details that if you weren't paying attention, it happened. Case in point, as soon as the show kicked off, I noticed Pat McAfee's not there. Why is Pat not there? And they're in Indianapolis, which made it very conspicuous by his absence. And then they started talking, and did you see or did you hear what Michael Cole said first? He said it as soon as the show started. If you were
family emergency.
No, he did not.
Pat's not there. What did he say?
He said, my partner is not here tonight. I would not read too much in. I'm not going to read too much into that. He was sending you a signal. This was not part of an angle. He was sending you a signal if you were paying attention. This isn't part of a storyline. Something's happening.
Say that. See, you take notes on all this shit, Don. I just sit behind this microphone and turn the computer on. That's all I do.
Now, the reason people were like, oh, it's because of the Wyatt Six is because earlier in the day he had Triple H on his show. And they had a little Wyatt Six moment. And there was a little bit of, ha-ha, inside baseball type shit where they were joking around and having fun. Dave Meltzer and his partner went and ran with it and said he wasn't there because it's part of the story angle. I don't know in what world that makes sense at all. Why would you not have the guy there if you were going to do an angle with him when you knew the Wyatt Six were going to have several angles that night? The entire logic of his statement didn't make sense today when he said it. Last night, I wasn't thinking. I was like, well, he's probably going to have something to do with it after the fact because he did have it on his real show. I'm sure he'll be involved in some way, but he's not going to not be there because of it. Something clearly had happened. That's immediately what I thought was either a personal matter happened or he had a conflicting appointment that he couldn't get out of.
The Wrestling Observer website, I'm not going to say newsletter because I don't do a newsletter anymore, is only good for one thing. If you missed a show, a televised TV show or pay-per-view, you can go in there and read a granular, detailed recap of what you missed by not watching the show. They go into great detail. You find out a little backstage news, if it's reliable or not, I don't know, but you can see every single detail of that show and their recaps. Meltzer doesn't do the recaps. Someone else does it for Meltzer. That's why they're accurate. Meltzer's, if you want accurate wrestling news and rumors, go to pwinsider.com. pwinsider.com. Have an ad blocker turned on because they got a hell of pop-up ads. Dave Scherer and Mike Johnson are the guys who run that. Dave Scherer actually posted the clip from Meltzer Says What Twitter account because he's blocked like everyone else. And he said, people ask me why I continue to point out the horrible things that Dave Meltzer does. And this is a guy who does what Dave Meltzer does. Here's why. He and Brian report, in quotation marks, that Pat McAfee wasn't at Raw as part of an angle when, as you all know, he had a death in the family. It's just egregious how irresponsible they are. That's a quote from Dave Scherer. He put that on his Twitter feed today. He hates Meltzer because it's just constantly making shit up.
Thank you for saying that. And this is why this bothered me so much. Dave Meltzer recently came out and said, and I quote, I still have several contacts in the WWE. I'm still very much knowledgeable of what's going on with that product. If you know so much, all it would have taken you was a 30-second tweet to say, hey, did something happen with McCaffrey or is he off because of storyline? That's all it would have taken. And he didn't even have the common damn decency to do that. He's so busy shilling his own bullshit that he went with whatever he thought should be the storyline. This is the problem that I've had with him for a long time. He makes assumptions and never checks any of it out. He just goes with it. So I'm done with this jackass. Just period. I don't want to get into a damn diatribe, but
I'll give our viewers a piece of advice. If you're trying to read the PW Insider website and you're inundated with those pop-up ads and you say, fuck this, I'm out, download the Brave browser. Brave is the name of it. Go to your app store for whatever phone you have, download the Brave browser, type in pwinsider.com. You can read the entire website without all the pop-up ads. It's heaven. That's what I do. So
I thought it was
bullshit on
bullshit.
Chrome, dude. Yeah.
I thought that was bullshit that he put that out there. And then all I would have taken, though, man, is a 30-second tweet or a 30-second text. Hey, saw Pat wasn't on tonight. Was that part of the show or did something come up? You know, did he reply with a bit? Don't want to get too far into it. It's his personal business, but it wasn't part of the show. That would have been it. That's all that would have needed to be said. But you didn't see it from anybody. And I can understand they're not going to tell you something happened, but God, man.
McAfee came out today on his show, and there's a clip of it on YouTube where he said that his wife asked him not to say anything until it was over with, but his father-in-law passed away. And he had an infection, and they hospitalized him for him. The guy was a hard ass, a badass, and he thought he was going to make it. In fact, he was going to be discharged in a couple of days, and he took a turn for the worse and passed away. And his wife is a daddy's girl, and she was devastated. Naturally, you would be devastated if your parent passed away.
I mean, my God.
Pat didn't drop any bombs about what happened. He asked, I guess he's good friends with Cole. They kept it quiet until Pat would have come out with the news. So there you go. And fucking Meltzer and Alvarez ran with it like a couple of assholes. So.
And then decided to boot, which, by the way, Denisha, Don Bottles, I just loved Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy segment. It was a little emotional with talking about Brave. Love y'all's channel. Thank you. We appreciate you being here and supporting us. Love having you here. And we're going to talk about that. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give away the podium yet, but we are going to get there. I can promise you, you weren't the only one that was watching this getting all up in your feelings. So we're going to get there. The other part that bothered me about what Dave said is he shit all over Miz. He shit all over Miz. Let's take this for a second and dissect this, okay? The Miz, out of nowhere, gets put on color commentary because of a family emergency. No notice, no cues, just go out there and wing it the best that you can. I thought the Miz did a phenomenal job, and I dare Dave Meltzer's ass to sit there and try to do the same damn job, knowing what's going on in the back with one of your colleagues at home. That was a cheap shot by him. I thought he did a fine job, and I actually wrote down in this, Miz is doing great. Is he going to be the next big-name wrestler that becomes a commentator? We haven't had a big-name wrestler become a commentator in a long time, Bottles, a long time.
I got some news for you, Don. Booker T's contract is coming up. He's the announcer or the color commentator for NXT. His contract is coming up, I believe, in August. Will Booker T stay? Will they pay him what he wants? Or will the Miz slide over into that position?
That's a damn good question.
Who knows?
That's a damn good question.
I think with Miz there, they're priming the pump. They're priming the pump to have him transition because he's 40. Believe it or not, I mean, he's a boyish looking guy, but I think the Miz is 41 and a half.
He's up there. Yeah. He's
up there. He's been around a long time. He was there during the Chris Benoit era. So that's a long time.
And I don't know that Booker is going to go anywhere. I just don't know that he wants to keep doing what he's doing full time. He's getting a little bit up there as well. Maybe he doesn't want to work such a hard time schedule. He's made a good bit of money. We'll see where that goes. That's curious. Now, let's get into Raw.
Hang on a second. I want to say one more thing. When Miz had to leave that position later in the show, how great was Michael Cole calling a wrestling program by himself?
Dude.
By himself. Talking to the viewers. Calling that shit like Joey Styles did in ECW. And it hasn't been done since Joey Styles and ECW.
Let's take a minute and reflect on how good of a job he's done, Cole, that is, and how much better he's gotten since he doesn't have Vince screaming in his ear. He was the shill that was barking all the orders that Vince McMahon would give him on the air. Since Vince has left, I have noticed a significant uptick in Michael Cole and how he does this job. I have grown to appreciate him much more now that someone's not screaming in his ear, telling him what to do. When The Miz left, his entire demeanor was hilarious. He was like, where are you going? You're just going to leave me out here alone? It was fantastic. Cole, I tip my hat. You've gotten a rough deal in this era because he replaced the legend that is Jim Ross. No one that ever replaces a legend gets an easy way out. No one. You are always going to be compared to the best ever. Michael Cole did a hell of a job. I tip my cap to him. I got nothing to say but positive things. The commentators of this show last night felt fresh and new to me, and that's hard to say because I know people love Pat McCaffrey. Sometimes he's a little bit over top for me, for my taste personally.
Say this for me. Say this for me. Repeat after me. McAfee.
Sorry, McAfee. Sorry.
He's not Japanese, bro. Don. He's not Japanese, pal.
Look, McAfee. McCaffrey, whatever. McAfee.
Okada,
sorry.
Shibata.
Translator, Monator. I don't give a
McGee.
shit. I just call him Pat. I just call
Johnny
him
Fingers.
Pat McAfee. Thank you. You are Johnny Fingers. Sorry. I'm a Broncos fan. I grew up with Ed McCaffrey. That's the Irish name that sticks in my head. McCaffrey. Holy shit, Johnny Fingers is back. Yes. Going to play fuck around with Johnny Fingers. I want to talk about.
Why don't you take your finger and turn that microphone up? Jesus Christ.
Can we talk about?
I'm going to tell you.
Okay,
right now,
here we go.
Motherfucking professionals. Okay, let's go.
I'm going to go in here. No, you go ahead. I'm going to figure this shit out. This is pissing me off now.
You're doing good, pal. You're doing good, pal. What we got next? Who's next?
I want to talk about the numbers. 1.8 million people watch this show. 1.8 million. That's a big number, and here's why. You had Game 7 of the NHL playoff games. You had Game 3 of the College World Series. You had all of this shit going down at the same time. All of this. And they did a 1.8 average.
They all said no one in Canada is watching Raw. That's what they said. No one in Canada will be watching Raw.
That's what I read. They're definitely not going to watch. Come out today. What do we got? Everybody watched. That's the average was 1.8 million. Tip my hat. Out came Drew McIntyre. Did you notice anything about Drew McIntyre coming out?
No music.
There was no music.
Dry entrance. He just walked right in front of the announce table like he owned the place and got in the ring. And I love it like that. No entrance music. It's what used to kill me back in the day. And this is when Jeff Hardy is the biggest example of this that I can indict. When he debuted in AEW, his brother's in the ring getting his ass kicked by a platoon of jobbers. And Jeff Hardy comes out, they play the music, and he dances. He does the dance like this at the top of the ring while his brother in kayfabe is getting gang raped and beaten by a platoon of jabronis. Good God almighty.
I'll be down there in a minute,
Matt.
Matt.
Is going on? Yeah, I'll be there in a minute, Matt. You got
first we rave.
First we rave and drink some Fireball. Then I'll be right down.
Oh my God, it's the drizzling shits. But Drew came out, and this is why I love this. A week ago, Drew McIntyre quit on this show. He quit.
He quit on that show. He came back for SmackDown. The beat up.
But what I'm saying is he quit.
CM Punk.
Which is why it made sense that he came out with no music, got in the ring, talked shit, and left. And the recap they always do is always magnificent. What was it that he said? I did that to you and took this and showed the bracelet he took.
Let me tell you something. If Drew McIntyre leaves wrestling for any reason, he's got to go to Hollywood. That guy is built to be an action star, an angry fucking action star. If Steven Seagal, the obese, morbidly obese 65-year-old Steven Seagal, as he is today, can put out action movies, direct the video. They got to have a place in Hollywood for Drew McIntyre to be the next Terminator or a Tarzan or whatever, dude. He is built to be a superhero, an action hero. Jacked, huge, hairy. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Women love him. They all stare at him. Come on.
I like this segment. And then he announced, I'm going to get into Money in the Bank. We have been talking about this. You and I have differing opinions. I thought it might be CM Punk because after Key being Drew quit last week, maybe CM Punk was going to be in it. Now, Drew says, I'm going to get into it. And of course, they have the segments backstage throughout the show where he's trying to get the Money in the Bank. Do you think it's possible? because next week he's in a
where
qualifying
you're going.
match. He's in a qualifying match next week. This is a big deal. Does Drew get in the qualifying match and get screwed over, or is it in the Money in the Bank that he gets screwed over? Because the fuckery's going to commence eventually.
He's going to get fucked over in Money in the Bank, the match. He's going to climb up. Everybody's going to be leveled. And he's going to climb that ladder. The place is going to go, as Pat would say, banana. And somebody's going to come out from underneath the ring and tip that ladder over while he's up there. And it's going to be CM Punk. Then he's going to pick him up, go to sleep, grab the ladder, put it back up, and leave the ring. And somebody else is going to come up and climb. But there's two more people. Two more people that have to be in that match. We don't know who they're going to be yet.
No, we don't. I am
I hope
excited
it's not
about
Jey
this.
Uso going to win this.
I've already told you Jey Uso is winning this because conspicuous by his absence this week was who? I didn't see Jey Uso in the show.
You're right. He was not on the show.
We have been talking about this for a while. I get it. He's got a great entrance. Outside of that, I don't see a lot there, and it was rubbing you and me the wrong way. It just was. I know he's got a fan base. It was rubbing us the wrong way. So I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I just wanted to note that he wasn't there. They have the Wyatt 6 recap, so that was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Caught everybody up on that.
Right.
Sean says, the doctor's here. Glad I'm getting to catch a show live. The best podcast in the IWC. Thank you very much, Sean. We appreciate the super chat. Super chats are open.
Thank you,
we always
sir.
appreciate the love. Been chatting with Sean today a little bit when I could. Always appreciate the feedback. Always appreciate the support. Like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. Chad Gable has security when he arrives in the building. I thought that was a nice added touch. I liked it, man. I thought that was a nice added touch to me. Did you not dig it?
I did. It seemed a little WCW-ish, but hey, it's something different. Something different. They had security around the announcers, other sides of the ring, guys sitting on folding chairs. They rotated them in and out. It was different. But that's what you would do if the threat of something like that's going to happen again, where they're going to go in a guerrilla position and kick everybody's ass. You want something
psychopath.
Like
yes,
psychopaths.
agreed.
Masked psychopaths. Yes.
I can't wait to get to talk about this. Braun Breaker comes out.
Basically, they're people who couldn't get a fair shake.
Yes.
Essentially is what it is. Go ahead.
Braun Breaker comes out. Ludwig Kaiser, clothesline onto the table again. And here's what I want to say about this. Is what else I'm going to say about Braun Breaker. He's doing a lot of the same amazing moves. He's got to stop doing them. Make them special for the PLEs or the big moments. He keeps doing the Steiner, the Frankensteiner off the top rope. Make it special. You don't have to do it every match, pal. Running the ropes is special enough. The spear he gives you is special enough. He doesn't have to keep doing all that shit over and over again. Am I wrong there?
You're not wrong at all. You are not wrong at all. He busted out a new move last night, that clothesline off the ring apron to the announce table, where he basically rearranged that man's intestines. It was unbelievable, dude. But the rumor going around from this match done is Ludwig Kaiser's hurt. But I was looking to see where he got hurt, if he was favoring an arm, like they said. But I didn't see any of that at all. I think that was a rumor that Fightful put out, that Ludwig Kaiser is hurt. I didn't see anything like that. I know he's a little rough with him when he was doing those overhead suplexes.
Right. And
those belly-to-back suplexes. And he said to him in the corner, I don't know if you caught it, when he whipped Ludwig into the corner, he ran into him and was going to whip him out of the corner. He said, I'm sorry, in his ear.
I didn't see that. I didn't catch that. No.
You wouldn't hear it. You had to watch his mouth. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. But here's what got me about this. Did you see Sheamus doing a run-in? Because I didn't see that.
I did not expect that whatsoever, and it was epic. Epic. And it led to something else down the line.
He kicked the shit out of him on last night's show. Dude, that kick looked great, man.
Kaiser's amazing. He's amazing. He is selling. The guy's got like the 0.002 body fat. Great worker. Great promo. He's amazing.
Sean says the table spot, he thinks he hurt a rib. I could see that because when he hit it, he landed kind of funky. He did land kind of funky.
His pancreas, his liver, and his colon from that. Good Lord Almighty. That was just devastating, it looked like. And they're talking to one another while they were laying there. Like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. It's my rib, my colon, my sphincter, everything.
Have you seen my kidneys? They were with me a second ago.
I think I lost one. Yeah, it's over here. I'll pass it to you.
I love the Sheamus spot. Thought it was great. And then we finally get the clubhouse segment, which when it comes to the clubhouse, man, look, we have both shit all over the quote unquote clubhouse. The clubhouse just drives me nuts. The fact that they call it the clubhouse. They could have called it anything. They could have called it the Den, all kinds of cool names, but we're going to call it the clubhouse. And that's what drives me nuts. Holy shit. But it cuts to the back and Dom is eating some motherfucking chicken nuggets in a tray of 80 of these bitches. And I laughed my ass off on sight. Laugh like hell as soon as it happened. I could not stop laughing at him. He had a whole tray of nuggets like a party platter. Just going to town like, fuck y'all. These.
He had no dipping sauce whatsoever. That's the one thing I noticed about the whole thing.
Raw dog in the nuggets, son. Raw dog in the nuggets.
But
they got a PS.
They got the video game console. It's all catered by Liv Morgan, by the way. But the biggest problem, and this is indicative in our thumbnail, is Damian Priest should have walked in on that like a father that was pissed off at his kids. He was out of the house for a little while. He comes back to a shit show. He should have read those guys the riot act. Why are you jerking each other off playing video games? Look at you. You're eating a whole plate of chicken McNuggets. What about your training? What the hell's going on here? You guys got to get your shit together. You need to be more forceful, show some fire. But he's like, all right, dog, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, I see what you guys are doing now. I see what you got. Carlito, yeah, you're here. Yeah. What about Braun Strowman? I bet he's having a good time too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Braun Strowman's having a good time. Show some fire, Priest. Good look. For me, the Damian Priest experiment just shows you that he's a transitional champion. He's holding that belt for someone big to go ahead and snatch it.
I don't buy anything he's saying. We've talked about this now for months. This isn't something you and I are just jumping on. We've talked about it for months. His delivery isn't there. It doesn't look or sound like something this big son of a bitch with a booming voice would say naturally. Like he would come back there and stay calm. Like you said, if he'd have come back there and flipped the PlayStation over and then he'd be like, wait, Liv Morgan gives this. I don't give a shit. We're getting our ass kicked every week. You guys are embarrassing me. You've got this Jersey horse soaking up the pots. I'm done with all of this. Do something. Fix the situation. I'm the only guy with gold in this group, and it's got to change now.
This Jersey whore, you said.
Anything. Look, I'm just saying. Fire it up.
I told you a month ago on this show, Liv Morgan's a whore. I told you.
Will you stop? I just enjoyed
I'm sure she's a nice girl in real life.
I enjoyed I enjoyed what Dom did. I thought his segment was good. The rest of this, Damian Priest, man, it ain't working. Valkyria comes out next. Huh?
It's not working at all. It's not working at all because of the. But why? Why?
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that in a minute because we're not done shitting on this whole thing. Why it comes in a minute.
Commence with the shitty.
Okay. Valkyria comes out next. She's got a match, and then it cuts back again. And I like how they're showing people. They show the people coming to the ring, then they'll go to commercial, come back, and they're backstage with something else because something else was going on. Are you noticing that it's not just entrance, match, backstage, entrance? They're interlaying all of these storylines throughout the show so that it's not the same thing over and over and over again.
When you've got time to write the show segment by segment, and you're not going to have a 80-year-old madman who soiled himself sit there at 7:57 say, this is all shit. God damn it, pal. Crumple it up, throw it away. Write me a new script.
And I know about shit.
Yes. So, with that being said, they got time to tweak it. They write it. They tweaked it. Triple H said in an interview I saw on YouTube today that WrestleMania was put together in November of last year. They knew they were going from point A to point B to get to where they needed to go. Then when The Rock came back, it threw a monkey wrench in everything. By the way, that documentary I saw today.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Good.
I haven't watched it yet. I saw it was on
Okay.
YouTube today, right before we came on this show. I noticed it. So
Okay. I'll have to take a look at that. When they come back from the break, Braun Breaker's back there and getting in the GM's ass. He's mad as hell. I've did Rob now twice of my opportunity to get an Intercontinental title match. And here comes Sami Zayn, and they booked the match on the spot. And all I could say was, hot damn, that was great. This was great. We've got a couple of matches now to look forward to. You could sell the PLE. You know where it's going. The Indianapolis crowd was a hot crowd. I enjoyed this crowd.
Big news about Indianapolis, too, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. So they announced 3 shows starting February 1st of 2025. They're doing the Royal Rumble.
First time in February.
Yep. A SummerSlam show the next year. And I think, is it WrestleMania is announced the year after that? Or was it Survivor Series? I can't remember.
I think it was WrestleMania, I believe, in 2026, if I'm not mistaken, or 2027.
I think it's 2027.
They pushed the Royal Rumble to February.
Which I want to talk about that here a little bit too, because there's some shit going on there that's kind of throwing me off for a damn loop.
And what about Braun Breaker? Is he a heel? Is he a face? The crowd loves him. The crowd loves Breaker.
He's one of those guys that you just got to ride for what he is.
Like Big Papa Pump.
Oh Lord. I mean, he's got better math. I know that much. You gotta respect him for what he is. He's just a big badass guy. What I'm nervous about, though, is he's getting this title belt push real fast. There's got to be a screw job finish or something, right? Like, he can't just flat out lose clean in the middle of the ring because he's got all this momentum, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. You can't lose clean to Sami Zayn, right? Like, they've got to set up a 3-way for SummerSlam or something. That's how I thought this was going to go, was Kaiser comes out there after he has his match and screws him over.
I don't think he's going to lose to Sami Zayn. I think he's going to win that Intercontinental Championship. Some people may think it's too soon, but he's got all the goods, dude. All he's got to do is slow down a little bit.
Can I tell you why I don't think he's going to win it?
You tell me.
Because you're going to have 2 new winners of Money in the Bank briefcases, and that's like getting 2 titles for the next year. So there's no need for a 3rd title to exchange hands. The 2's big enough. The 2 is a big enough time.
Do you think Seth Rollins is going to win that belt?
We're going to get to that, because I'm not done talking about that yet.
Jumping the gun, Don. I'm sorry, as I usually do. I've got wrestling ADHD. Go ahead.
Anyway, they came out with Kairi Sane comes out, Money in the Bank qualifier, Shayna Baszler, Valkyria. She's getting a huge push. She won the match. I got nothing to say about her but positive things. She can wrestle. I mean, she can go. She's entertaining. I'm not a big fan of the female wrestlers. We know that. It doesn't always catch my appeal. She's won me over. Then they cut back.
Kairi Sane, big time jobber now. Loses every.
She really is. Well, ever since my son said this last night, 11 years old, he's starting to figure this thing out. He says, "Have you noticed that Asuka's gone and they're just getting the shit beat out of them every time they're on TV?" He didn't say shit. He was like, "They're getting beat every time now, Dad." It's like, yeah, because Asuka was the star of that group once you remove Bayley. Without Bayley, it's just a group of jobbers. Is what it is.
Right.
Anyway,
don't say it too loud. People love Dakota Kai, pal. They love Dakota Kai.
Love her all you want, but I'm not buying the hype. Drew McIntyre comes back out. He has the Money in the Bank. That's where they announced the match. We talked about that. Then we get the Liv Morgan promo spot.
Daddy Dom.
Everything she's doing right now, since she's won this thing, has grown on me more and more. I am a fan now. I thought it felt to me like she took over this entire segment in the middle of this ring. Did you notice this? When Dom looked like he was running a little long, she pushed it through. She pushed the segment through like we're running long on time. She was getting the cues. They had this whole back and forth. The reason I also can't make fun of her anymore is Zelina Vega got in the ring. Zelina Vega, excuse me.
Yes.
If you thought Liv Morgan was tiny, holy shit, this girl's a porcelain doll that got in the ring with her. She can't be even 5 foot tall. She can't even be 5 foot tall, Bottles. I'm sorry.
Very small.
She
can roll, though. She can go, but she's very small.
Bottles, as hard as it is.
Gotta have a small opponent.
It's hard enough for me to buy Liv Morgan as a legit contender to the championship she's got now. The promos aside, I can't get past her size at times when she gets in a ring with a Rhea Ripley or somebody like that. Zelina Vega, I can't buy that shit at all. My God, dude.
When she was at NXT, they paired her up with Andrade, and she was the fashion plate manager for Andrade. She did all the talking for Andrade, and it was a great mix. They still should do that. She still should come out with him. That's her lot in life, to be a manager for these guys, or a valet, or whatever you want to call it. No shame in that. She could bump like a fiend. That's what they should do. But they're trying her against Liv Morgan, I guess, to make it look more realistic. Two short girls together, have Liv be dominant. But who told you a month ago that Liv Morgan was going to be taking over the Judgment Day?
I said it.
She was going to take Rhea Ripley's spot.
I said it.
I said it too. And the Drew McIntyre is going to be factored into the whole thing. And he's going to take Damian Priest's spot.
Drew's not coming.
I don't know.
Drew's not coming in this. You're still chasing foul balls. He's not coming in. I said
we called this shit a month ago, 2 months ago.
Here's why I love this Liv Morgan spot. We're gonna go on.
Even Jim Ross said it. I just saw in the chat. I'm not going to mention his name. Jim Ross. Glad to see you back to this, Jim. I thought you were in a hospital today.
Here's what happens. Dom comes out. They have the whole spiel. Dom gets in Zelina's face. He's like, I want to help you. And I mean, Liv Morgan snatched that girl's head like she owed her money from a cab this morning.
Yes.
Bitch, where's my $3? She snatched the soul off that woman. She snatched the soul out of that girl's hair. I was like, oh, shit, that got personal fast. Out comes Rey Mysterio to pull Liv off of her. Dom gets on Rey. Liv Morgan is in love now. They go backstage. R-Truth is so happy that Liv Morgan's in love. Look, R-Truth, he had his moment. I'm glad he got his moment. He's a good comedy sketch guy out of nowhere. I don't know that he belongs in a tag team routinely every week, right? He got his WrestleMania moment. I'm happy about that.
Right.
But then she talks him into defending his belt because R-Truth is the idiot that we all know he is on this show. It is what it is, right? I love this segment. Then we had this thing happen. Braun Strowman, Reed, and Gable. There were some big spots for Braun that he's best at. He does not run well. You can tell the surgeries have played their toll on him. Reed is an up-and-coming big-ass bad dude. I enjoy watching his matches because he hits like a truck. I don't know about having Bronson Reed outside of a tag team. It feels like that guy maybe needs a tag team right now with some of the health struggles he's had.
Bronson Reed or Braun Strowman?
No. Braun Strowman. Reed's going to be fine. Strowman, I would put in something like that. Okay. So
right. Bronson Reed, he did it as Excalibur would say, a tope suicida doing this match. Can you believe that guy?
Yes, I can.
Guys, he's incredible.
Quite agile. Gable wins. That's the whole thing. The suplex he put on Bronson Reed, by the way, was impressive as hell. That was pretty good, right? Bottles is checked out on me. I'm coming back to me. Is Bottles frozen or am I frozen? Oh, shit. Am I here? Somebody chat in the chat if I'm gone or if I'm still here. Uh-oh. We might have a moment in time. I guess I'm just going to keep talking. I see the chat still going. All right, we're going to keep going then. They did have the Wyatt 6 moment with Chad Gable in the ring. I don't know where this was going, but I was sure happy to see it happen. It got all crazy. It got all smoky. In came one of the Wyatt 6, comes into the ring. Chad Gable falls back, slinks out of the ring, gets the hell out of town. He don't want no part of it. And it's Nikki Cross. Correct, Bottles? Are you back?
I'm back.
Okay.
We had a little bit of a flicker here with the lights.
Oh. Down in the South. So what did you think of the first segment of the 6? What did you think of it? What were your initial thoughts of this?
Are we talking strictly her coming out?
Just
giving me
just her coming out. Yes, just her coming out.
Why would she go into the ring? If she's going to give the box to Michael Cole, why would she enter the ring and choose Chad Gable? Why Chad Gable?
I'm glad you asked that. Remember, he's one of the guys they attacked when they debuted. There is a storyline with There's a storyline there that they're going to get to. I don't know what it is. I'm going to be excited to watch it. There's something that's building there. I thought her coming out was great. Here's the question I had for you. I wrote this down. Did you notice the crowd and the noise they made? You didn't notice. I could tell.
I didn't notice that. I really was paying more attention to the visuals and the ding, 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 the music.
Right.
That's what I was paying attention to. Didn't really pay attention to what they were saying.
You could have heard a pin drop in that arena. They were so quiet watching whatever she did. Whatever she did, they wanted to see it. They were part of it. Whatever this is, I don't know if it's good, bad, or indifferent, but people are paying attention. And sometimes that's the best thing you can say about a segment.
Yes.
If people are paying attention, they care. Everyone cared what was happening. And she just wandered off into the arena. I thought it was entertaining, if nothing else. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where it's going to go. But she gave the box to Michael Cole, opened it up, and it's an old VHS tape, an old VCR tape, if you will. So he sent it to the back to have it played.
Right.
I enjoyed it. They cut back again, and Liv Morgan is coming out of the clubhouse, and there's only Finn there. And Damian Priest comes out and fires up again. What are you doing back here? What is going on? She got us a tag team title match.
Dude.
That's where we were.
He didn't show that much fire when he asked that question.
Well, I'm just saying.
What's going on? What's going on back here? I just took a couple of Valium. I took a Xanax and drank it down with a Smirnoff Ice. What's going on? That's the way he delivers the lines, man. Show some fucking fire, Damian.
It gets worse from here because he comes out to the ring with the belt, and this is what I wrote. The crowd is dead. They just do not care.
You skirted over one thing when he left Finn Balor. Finn Balor gave him a dirty look.
I don't give a shit about that. That was
he's
about to get his ass kicked. Yeah, but he's going to get his ass kicked. You know it's coming. He's going to get his ass kicked, and that belt's going to cost him. This is all going down sooner or later.
Of course,
he comes out. The crowd is absolutely dead. They are dead. No pop, no reaction, nothing. And I wrote, this is over. This is completely over. This whole segment was bad. Nothing about this, I believe. He doesn't feel like a champion to me. He feels like the muscle that should be standing in the back and saying very little. That was his role before. It fit him well in this unit. Tag team here and there. This isn't working, Bottles. This simply isn't working anymore. There's nothing about him that says, I should have this belt. I am good on the microphone. I should have these segments. Nothing. Because when Seth Rollins comes out, fucking roof popped. The roof came off the building. That's the difference. Right. Seth comes out, huge pop. Priest comes out, dead silence. That's the difference.
What makes me worried about this entire thing is when they eventually turn him face. When the Judgment Day turns on Damian Priest, will anybody care?
No. He's dead.
Mid-card again.
There's nothing about this.
He's going the mid-card again.
When Priest starts, I'm just going to try to put this in perspective. Seth starts talking, and he's burying Damian Priest with his promo. Not like it's personal. Not, oh, yeah, I'm cutting the world's greatest Steve Austin promo. Nothing like that. He's just on the microphone, running him down. You can tell he's in his comfort zone. Damian Priest is not. Speaking of comfort zones, please like and subscribe. Make this your comfort zone. Come check us out. Usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We try to do it every week, twice a week. Like and subscribe. Super chats are open if you got something to say about this segment, because I'm telling you, I hated everything about this. And this is what I wrote. Here come the you suck chants. And it's not because you suck as a wrestler or you suck because, you're the bad guy. It was you suck because this segment is dead and you killed it. You took Seth Rollins, one of the most flamboyant wrestlers in this company, and killed his segment single-handedly. You Jeffrey Dahmered this whole thing. The whole thing. Terrible.
Well, what can you say to that?
Here's
not much more you can say. Not much more you could say. They're eventually, like I said, they're eventually going to turn this guy face, and expect the crowd to have some kind of sympathy, they better butcher him live on TV, on a PLE. They better hang him up on a cross and gut him like a fish to get the crowd to care about Damian Priest as a good guy.
I don't think if you dropped him off a building right now, anybody would give a shit. He has never meant less in this company. Nothing about this. I didn't care. And then, of course, Seth puts down the challenge. If I beat you, you have to leave the Judgment Day. I think we're going to see him leaving the Judgment Day at Money in the Bank no matter what. I think that's what's coming. I think Seth Rollins is about to get his title back in the middle of this shit and beating him to go to SummerSlam, because even the company's like, nope, we can't do this shit. And do not be surprised if whoever wins that title at SummerSlam does, or at Money in the Bank, doesn't cash it in that night. I'll be curious to see when they lay the matches out. Is that heavyweight title on first, last, or in the middle? And what is the men's Money in the Bank? I am going to be curious how that is formatted, because I don't think you want to put it back on Seth Rollins right away. Just my opinion.
I'm going to tell you right now, here's what's going to go down. Priest is going to be beating the shit out of Rollins. It's going to look like he's going to win. The Judgment Day is going to interfere on behalf of Seth Rollins. So Priest gets his ass kicked by the Judgment Day. Rollins wakes up, pins Priest. Priest is out of the Judgment Day. Done. Gone. They excommunicated him by interfering in the match.
But if you do,
he also said at the end of this segment, he says the Judgment Day doesn't need, I don't need the Judgment Day.
Yes,
they need
me. Yes.
Right.
They've got it all set up. You can see the end is nigh.
Absolutely. Absolutely you can. Yeah.
Then Gunther comes out, and I'm not going to get into this too much. Gunther comes out. He returns. He lays down the challenge. This crowd was so dead, even he couldn't revive this shit. It was so flat. It was so bad.
I hope they just didn't say, Gunther, go out there, try to save this shit. Good God almighty.
They failed miserably. Next thing up was the BCR tape that they played. And this is what I wrote. Dude, WTF. I don't know what this is, but damn, it's over. And it's compelling. And if they can keep this up with some of the segments that they're doing, I'm all about it. It was heart-wrenching at times.
Unbelievable. And just the raw emotion coming out of Bo Dallas, who was a comedy wrestler his entire career in the WWE, in NXT. And now he's a serious player. And just raw emotion coming through this guy about, you know, the shining light in his life is gone now. What happens? So he's taking over that entire angle. He's Uncle Howdy now, which he was before when Bray was alive. But more than ever, he wants to make this thing work. And Don, what do you think about every single member of this faction getting a video like this?
Ooh, I don't know about that, because that's a lot of, that's 5 weeks. That's 5 weeks. I don't know that you do it consecutively. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't do it consecutively. You don't do it consecutively.
Eric Rowan. When they do Eric Rowan, it's going to be a tearjerker, not a dry eye in the house, because he lost 2 friends.
Yeah. Yeah. From the same faction that he had debuted in and was big in. It was a huge
One thing I can't figure out. Why not Braun Strowman in all this?
He was the original guy. He was one of the original 4. Yeah.
No, he was. Well, there was 3 originally.
Well, yeah, but he was
Braun Strowman in because Vince saw him in NXT. He said, he had 3 matches. 3 matches. Vince said, look at this big son of a bitch. Bring him up. What? He's only had 3 matches, Vince. I don't give a shit. He's in tag team matches. We'll cover it.
So, Denisha, you asked about this earlier. I thought it was a hit. Me and Bottles, I think, both had the same concerns. Where does it go? Like, it's a cool build, and it always was with Bray Wyatt. It was always a very cool build. And then eventually it just went sideways somewhere. And it seemed like they could never get it back. If they can keep going with this, there's something there. There's something to this new genre that's going on in wrestling, and this new horror genre. I can get behind that. They're trying to take The Undertaker, in my opinion, and take it to the next generation and take it to the next level. That's how it feels to me.
Well, you know, back in the day, Lawler even booked Frankenstein versus Freddy Krueger down in the USWA. Over in Japan and FMW, Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, they had Jason versus Dr. Frank, his name was. And that was a guy in a Frankenstein mask who was Corporal Kirshner, I believe, at that point in time. So they had the horror thing go, but not with these production values, Don. Not with these angles, not with a 10-minute segment carved out of a national TV time. This is epic. It's cinematic. They shot the right way. Great production values for this entire show. And the whole show's laid out and produced like a regular episodic TV adventure. That's what it's like. I like my wrestling like that, Don. Although I do like the gut bucket, Mid-South, Crockett NWA type shit too, where they're just beating the piss out of the Malkies are getting Blackjack Mulkey's got one Malky by the ankle and beating the other Malky with him, like he was
or when the Midnight Express just killed one of them outside of the concrete. My God in heaven, I still remember that splat of him hitting that concrete. But
Danny Spivey and Sid Vicious beating the shit out of a jobber that wouldn't sell. You remember Mike Blackwood, I think his name was Blackwell, got his ass beat live on national television. Love it. So
we're gonna get to the last match on Raw. Well, no, Kofi Kingston and Karrion Kross had a match. I like Kross, but I like where this is going. They're trying to break him up. I like Karrion Kross in this new role. He at least comes off as a badass. He's getting used in the right way, I feel, this time. Kross wins. I'm just over the New Day. That's just me personally. I feel like it's got to go away now. JD and Finn Balor versus Awesome. Awesome Truth. And they won on Monday Night Raw. It's been a long time since we saw belts change hands on a regular show, on an episodic show. This felt good. And the best part is how this show closed with Liv Morgan standing in the middle of them, holding her title with the title over each side of them. That felt good to me. I thought that was how you close the show.
Right. Absolutely.
So
you know where it's going. We all know where this is going.
I was impressed. Raw was great. SmackDown was great. NXT is on now. I know a lot of people are going to go watch.
A lot of people jumped out. Yes.
Yep. Everybody's got to go get their NXT fix. I'm enjoying it. Thank you all for joining tonight, by the way. Like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. I was enjoying this show for what it was. It was just an entertaining show to me. Everything about it was great. I can't say great enough. Keep ringing that bell. Is there anything else you want to get to?
Just two things, Don.
Okay.
One of the shittiest AEW t-shirts you'd ever want to see. Mo Monet, no problems. Just hot garbage. It looks like something you would find a guy with a table set up on a side street in New York City, selling it right next to Burn CDs, bootleg movies back in the 90s. It looks horrible. And then there's another one. And
that's gone. That's gone.
They got rid of it. A lot of controversy here with this Will Ospreay's hit list with a target sight over Swerve Strickland's forehead. Who in their right mind in this day and age, or any age, would put this out as a t-shirt? Drink that in.
I can't wrap my head around that thought process. That somebody said, let's take an African-American gentleman and put a target in the middle of his forehead. Oh my God, why in the hell? Why?
I couldn't tell you, pal. I couldn't tell you. It's
terrible
amazing
marketing.
Let's talk one last thing, Don. We'll let everybody go to NXT. Kayla Braxton, the SmackDown backstage announcer. She's probably about 5 feet tall, if that. She used to host Talking Smack with Paul Heyman, and their on-screen chemistry was fantastic. If you go on Peacock to look up the old episodes of Talking Smack when Heyman was on there like 3 or 4 years ago, it was epic. The shit they would ad-libbing it into. But Meltzer was telling everybody that Kayla Braxton was leaving WWE. Her last week is this week. And she's had talks with AEW. It looks like she's going to go there. Don't know what they're going to have her do. Blah, 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 blah. Kayla Braxton came out and said, the support from you guys has been overwhelming. I'm so thankful for you. But I did want to make one thing clear as I enter my final week in WWE. If I wanted to keep working in wrestling, I wouldn't be walking away from the largest wrestling company in the world. Nice try, Rumor Weeds. And she's got the picture of, it's not Maureen McCormick's from the Brady Bunch movie where Marsh is saying, nice try, Jan.
Nice try, Jan, yes.
Yes, it's right there off to the right side of this. So,
and good for her for shitting all over the dirt sheet writers trying to start this garbage. Just every time somebody leaves, WWE, they go, well, that person's clearly going to AEW now. They might have other career plans. They don't even, that's what pisses me off. Call the person, text them, find out you have these points of contact. Why don't you utilize them? I would have, if I could have gotten hold and say, hey, is there any chance you're going to AEW next? Hell no, I'm not going there. All right, thanks. I appreciate your input. I don't understand why it's so hard for these people to say, hey, your next career move, what do you think you're going to do? It's not that hard.
Meltzer puts shit out there, and he doesn't think anyone's going to come back and fact check him. I don't know what's wrong with this man. I do not understand what is wrong with this man. Is he drinking his hair dye? What is he doing? I don't get it. By the way, have you seen the Dynamite card for tomorrow night?
Oh, God. No, I haven't.
Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Gates of Agony, the two Samoan guys that are on bad terms with Roman Reigns, I guess, that aren't in the bloodline. What? It's a Vince McMahon trope of, oh, my God, they're going to be opponents, but can they coexist?
Yes. Yeah, dude.
Which the neckbeards will shit all over, but they're doing this now. And you're also having Saraya, Anna Jay, Harley Cameron in a trios match versus Mina Shikara, Mariah May, which is Tits McGee versus, and Mariah May and timeless Tony Storm. Those 6 women are going to be in a match. Mina Shirakawa and Tony Storm are fighting at the next PLE, or the next pay-per-view. I'm sorry, not PLE. Next pay-per-view. Oh, my God. They're got a match against each other. Can they coexist? Another Vince McMahon trope. And then you got the Jay White, who's saying to himself, how much time do I have left on this contract?
Long time.
Can somebody get me out of here? Jay White, the first man who walked through the forbidden door, by the way, at one of those pay-per-views. He's facing the botch machine, Ray Phoenix. So you've got, Japanese grappling versus a flippy dippy spot machine. Then MJF's in Buffalo, don't you know? It's coming from the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York, pal.
She gave us a couple bucks tonight. I'm throwing Denisha's comments up because it was too much.
Let me tell you something. If that son of a bitch walks through that pit, if he comes out of forbidden door at any point in time,
I'm going
to rip my clothes off and dance around the living room, and I'll have my wife pour lighter fluid in my ass and light it. That's what's going to happen. Because I will be so popped at seeing Shane McMahon. What did I just say? I'll be so popped at seeing Shane McMahon. Good Lord.
Oh, my God. Dude, this is Shane McMahon or Vince McMahon booking right here, though. Can they coexist? Can they coexist? Not once, but twice. We're going to have 2 of those matches tonight. Holy shit, man.
Dude, I would think the writer from SmackDown who quit is now employed by this company. That's what I would think. Or Jennifer Pepperman is contributing.
Well, you can tell she's doing a lot of the backstage segments. You can tell that already. She's doing a lot of
they're
those.
All horrible. They're all
some of them are good. No, some of them are good. The backstage segments on the most part. No. I'm talking about the backstage vignettes.
Okay. I got one more thing, Don.
Oh, what is this?
I got one more thing. Back in the early 2000s, Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire, the very first Spider-Man movie, where we believe the man could climb walls. Bruce Campbell was the ring announcer. The great Bruce Campbell from the Evil Dead movies.
The Evil Dead movies, yes.
Here is the late, great Randy, the Macho Man Savage.
Was doing his Mean Gene Okerlund ring announcer impression, and he did a very, very, very good job. So we're going to have to give him a nickname. Beautiful Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell.
Somebody dug that up on the internet and put it out on Twitter. I just figured
I've never seen that before.
The sign off with, neither did I. That was when the Macho Man was in his rap phase, wearing the do-rag.
Yes, I remember the rap phase all too well. God, let that rest in
all
peace.
Black. Hulk Hogan, be a man, that sort of thing, when he had a hard on for Hulk Hogan. Pardon my French. But I tell you what, Great stuff. Fantastic stuff.
We're going to be back Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have a AEW show, obviously, to review. I'm going to watch Who Killed WCW as well. In the interim, I want to see, I think this is the final episode or next to the final episode. I can't remember. I'm going to be watching that. I did.
Who's the guy who died? Who's the guy who died recently? The guy with the high muckety mucks. Jamie something from WCW.
Yeah.
He died last week.
Yeah.
Jamie Kelder. Jamie Kelder.
But that's all I got. Hit the subscribe button, like and subscribe, hit the notifications button. We'll be back Thursday to probably shit all over the show we're going to watch tomorrow, to be quite honest. Unless
What's
it gets
the notification button called?
Ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling.
I tell you who didn't have a ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling.
I know.
Till next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.